Good morning, everyone. As promised, I have blocked off some time to do a video this week. I might get in more, I don't know, we'll see. So the most popular request I had over the last couple of weeks was about writing petitions. So I'm gonna give you a few of my tips and some mistakes that I commonly see. So we'll start with the mistakes that I commonly see. So when people write me with a consultation, I need a lot of background story, which is great. So the more details I have about what's going on with you and sort of I need to know what the root of the issue is. So you can't just tell me, oh, well, I'm having marriage problems. Well, marriage problems because of what? Because of finances, because of infidelity, because of lack of communication. Those are the things I need to know. And those are the things that you're going to have to pinpoint in order to write a proper petition. Because the areas that you're having problems in, the root of those problems you're going to have to turn those into your goals. That's going to lead to what your goals are going to be. So what I get a lot of is, I get the whole consultation. We'll email back and forth for, a day or so, and, lots of paragraphs of information. Usually, sometimes I just get like one line, and that a one-line consultation I can't do anything for you with one sentence, so that's not going to work. But, and then I'll finally, get to the point to say, well, what are your goals here for this situation? And then they'll write me like 5 more paragraphs. And then at the very bottom, I can usually get to, there'll be like 3 lines that will indicate their goals. So it's really important to stay positive when stating your goals. When it comes to writing a petition, none of that background story matters, because your petition wants to be concise and detailed but simple. So when you go to write your petition, you don't have to go, you write the person's name and, well, we've been having problems for about 12 years and we've been, separated for 4 of those and we're not talking, and those aren't your goals. Those are already the problems that you have. Everybody already knows about those, including the spirits. So forget all that. None of that matters right now. Your goal would be reconciliation, reuniting, communication. So all of the things that are wrong, all the things that you're complaining about, all the things that are negative in your life right now. So you want the opposite of that. That's what you're writing down as your goal. Okay, we're not communicating. Communication needs to be one of the things that you write down. We're apart right now. To be in close proximity with consistent meetings, consistent visits would be your goal. I have poor health right now. Healing, renewal, restoration, health. Let's say I feel crossed up and jinxed and nothing is going right. So protection, removal of negative influences, positive influences instilled in your life. Okay, so you really need to learn how to turn your words around. Whatever is natural for you to say is what's going on. For a lot of people, it's negative. So you need to find the opposite word for that. I don't care if you need to get yourself a thesaurus and look at, antonyms and synonyms to figure this stuff out. Get you a thesaurus then. But you need to have the proper words to express yourself to write these petitions. So when I do mine a little, sometimes the opposite of some of the workers I've seen, but it works for me, so I'm just gonna tell it to you. If you don't want to do it that way, don't do it that way. I write you're gonna need the names of the people involved, okay? The person that you are trying to either bring back to you, or a person you're trying to reunite with, or a person you're trying to communicate with, you're going to put their name down first. And this is where our numbers come in. And I'll go over a few other numbers with you of things. So for reconciliation and love matters in communication, I use the number 5. So you would write that person's name down 5 times, like get a little square paper like that, okay? Write it down 5 times across here. Then your goals, which we just talked about: communication, reconciliation, healing, whatever you whatever you want to get out of this relationship with this person. So you have your names written down this way. I'm going to scribble on here real quick so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's going across here like this, and then you turn it, you turn it 60 degrees, and now you're going to write across it your goals. Communication, reconciliation, healthy relationship. That's a big one people forget. People just want to talk about, I want my relationship back. Well, if your relationship was shitty before, you don't want the same shitty relationship back. You want a healthy relationship back. So you guys need to get over that stuff too. I see a lot of that. I want my relationship back. I'm not going to help you get back a shitty relationship. It's not happening today. It's not happening tomorrow. But if you want to work on things on yourself, and you have identified the root problems in the relationship, why it broke up, if the other person you are communicating and they're willing to work on it, I can totally help you with that. But if the person just wants to remain the same way, they have no desire to change, I can't change somebody's genetics, and neither can you. If a person is predispositioned to be a certain way, they have a certain personality type, they're narcissistic, they're controlling, they're manipulative, they're abusive, those are things a lot of times are genetic factors, are really deep-seated environmental factors that you really need to be addressed with, seeing a therapist, some psychological counseling, something like that, okay? I cannot morally put you back in a position into a bad relationship. It's not something I'm ever going to do. So you're going to write your goals, blah, 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 across this way like this. So a lot of practitioners do it the other way. They write the goals first and then they put the name over it. There are some instances I do that, but not in relationship ones. That's not what I do. So if it was for you and it was for protection, I would also use the number 5 for protection. You would write your name down 5 times, you would turn it, you would write protection over it. If it's for financial things, luck or money or employment, things like that, I would use the number 4 in most cases. For legal aid, court cases, maybe custody, I'm trying to think of some other examples. Immigration, I get a lot of immigration cases. I would do that 9 times because OYA rules the courts and justice. So I would use her number, which would be 9 times. I use 5 for love because that's Oshun's number. I'm trying to think of some other examples of numbers. I'm just trying, these are the most common ones, so that's what's coming to mind for me right now. So let's talk about, okay, so we talked about stating the positive, staying away from the negative words, getting to your goal, that you don't need the whole background story. You're going to need to get a payment ready and some type of offering. So after you have your square of paper ready, and most people, we'll talk about folding now. So most people, in typical candle work, just your basic stuff, you're going to fold this up and you're going to put it underneath your candle. Okay, so if it's something you want to bring to you, you want to bring back a healthy relationship, you want to bring in finances, you want to bring in employment, healthy finances, I should say. Let's state that. That goes back to stating the healthy relationship thing. Don't just say finances, because if your finances are bad right now, you don't just want to say finances. You want to say improved finances, better finances, a savings account, my bills are paid, things like that. I typically stick to very short goals or very short sentences in my petitions, and I will state things like they're already happening. So if it was, I need money to pay a bill, I have this amount of money, this bill is paid, like that, okay? I am protected, I am healthy, I am safe, I am loved, I deserve a healthy relationship, I attract healthy relationships. I attract healthy people. Things like this, okay? So it's really important. You gotta, you gotta say it like you mean it. You know, you can't just, my relationships are terrible. All I have are terrible people around me. Well, yeah, now you do, because you just went and told everybody that. That's all you've been saying to everybody. That's all you have. So that's all you're going to have. That's all you're going to get. So, okay, so folding. So you're going to fold it to you like this towards your body, you know, like this. If you want something, turn it, fold it again towards your body if you're bringing something. If you don't want something, you want somebody to go away, or you want, you know, maybe you feel crossed up, you're having obstacles, blockages, fold it the other way. Fold it away from you like this. Like, get out of here. Get away from me. Don't even look at me. So fold it again the other way. So don't fold it up so thick. This is why we use just sort of a small piece of paper like this. If you get a big piece of paper and you fill this all up with Petition and you start folding that thing, good luck getting a candle to sit on top of it, because it's going to be too thick, okay? So you can't do that. You got to use a little piece of paper. Types of paper. This is a fun thing to try. If I'm doing prosperity maintenance, which is something that I preach a lot about, which is not waiting until you have an emergency to deal with things. Like, oh my God, everything, you know, I don't have any money for this. So if you continually work on things along the way, instead of just waiting for an emergency, you know, I like to use the analogy a lot. You guys have heard it a million times. You can't, you know, work out for a day and then expect to lose 20 pounds. You have to work out continuously, and you have to put healthy food in your body continuously. Stuff don't happen overnight. So you can't just, oh, I have an emergency, let me do a 10-minute spell and it's going to take care of it. No, that's not how the world works. So if I want to, I'm working on my business, my prosperity maintenance, I'm going to use my business card as my petition, okay? You can also use, like the envelope, your bills, not your bills, your paycheck comes in, or your paycheck stub, as long as you don't need it for like tax purposes or anything, make a copy or something. But, you know, money that you have coming in, use the paper off of that. For love, you might want to use maybe a card that the person gave you, or a little note they wrote you, a little letter they wrote you, or a sugar packet. Empty all the sugar out of a sugar packet and use that. If you want to, I'm trying to think of other, if you want a bill to be paid, you could use the envelope that bill came in, okay? And again, state, I have the money for this bill, state the type of bill. I have this much money. Don't be afraid to be repetitive. You know, people think being repetitive is getting redundant, but it's not in this case. You want to state it over and over and over until you manifest it, until you believe it. So we went over types of paper and folding and the numbers. And I think that's probably, okay, yeah, I have little notes down here because I get ideas for these videos and then it's like, you know, a waterfall, and I have to write all these little scraps down everywhere because that's just how I do it. So make sure you have payment and an offering ready, okay? Offering is your food stuff, a little bit from your first meal of the day, your lunch, your dinner, and then some type of payment. I'll show you an example here real quick. These are called, I call them spirit money, but they're called hell notes. Don't get weirded out by the name. If you go on my website and you look up hell notes, it will explain to you where that comes from, and it's not anything to do with like heaven and hell or anything like that. So I use these as payment. You can use real money too, or real coins. Just set it on your altar and say, you can burn these. You can also write your petitions on them. Especially if you're doing prosperity work, these are great because you can write your stuff here on the back, and then you set it on fire, and then it carries your petitions up, you know, out into the universe. So so you can use that as payment. Your offerings, for me, those are two different things, payment and offerings. So I like to do both. And then let's talk about real quick, if say your petition catches on fire underneath your candle, because I'll get this a lot. Oh no, my petition caught fire under the candle. Is this a bad sign? No, it's not. It's just you got paper under a candle and there's fire there. I mean, it's flammable. It's going to ignite once in a while. So don't worry about all that, okay? That's just physics. That's how things happen. Sometimes things catch on fire when you're messing with fire. So don't worry about all that. It catches on fire, or, you know, it gets messed up a little bit. Don't worry about any of that, okay? It is going to happen once in a while. And trust me, it means absolutely nothing. So don't worry about any of that. So I hope that I could probably do another video on this stuff if you guys give me like real specifics I didn't cover. I tried to cover a good amount of stuff. Hopefully it was cohesive and I wasn't all over the place. So I hope it made sense. I hope it helps you out with your work, and I hope you guys have a great week. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.